The algorithm isn't watching you. You're feeding it. You think you're being manipulated. You're not. You're participating. Every scroll, every pause, every second glance, you're not the victim of the feed. You're its architect. The algorithm doesn't control you. It reflects you. And that's the part no one wants to hear. Because if it's forcing content down your throat, you're powerless. But if you're teaching it what you want, second by second, micro-decision by micro-decision, then you're complicit. And complicity is harder to accept than control. Here's what's actually happening. The algorithm isn't a predator. It's a mirror with a memory. Every time you linger on something rage bait, nostalgia, fear, beauty, it logs that hesitation. Not as data, as preference. And preference, over time, becomes identity. You don't choose what you see anymore. You chose it, past tense, weeks ago, months ago, in 1,000 invisible moments when you thought you were just passing time. The feed isn't random. It's a feedback loop. You feed it your attention. It feeds you more of what held that attention, and the loop tightens. Not because it's trapping you, because you're reinforcing it. This is where it gets uncomfortable. The algorithm doesn't care about you. It cares about patterns, and you are a pattern. A series of predictable responses dressed up as free click, scroll, pause, repeat. The system doesn't need to understand you. It just needs to predict you, and it does, with terrifying accuracy. But here's the twist. The algorithm isn't smart. You are. It's just faster. It processes your behavior at a speed your conscious mind can't match. So by the time you realize you're watching something, the decision has already been made. Not by you, by the you from 3 seconds ago. The you who paused, the you who leaned in. That version of you is running the show. And you don't even know them. This is the gap between intention and action. Between who you think you are and what your behavior says you are. The algorithm lives in that gap. It doesn't read your mind. It reads your fingers, your eyes, your hesitation. And hesitation is louder than thought. You've been trained to believe the feed is external, something happening to you, but it's internal. It's a projection of your nervous system's hunger patterns, what you crave when you're bored, what you avoid when you're anxious, what you return to when you're empty. The algorithm is just holding up the mirror, and you keep looking. Now think about this. If the feed is a reflection, what does yours say? Not what you tell yourself you care about, what you actually consume, because consumption is confession. Every video you finish is a vote. Every post you skip is a vote. You're not passively watching, you're constantly choosing. And the algorithm is just counting the votes. Here's where people get it wrong. They think the solution is to quit. Delete the app, go offline, reclaim your mind. But that's not the problem. The problem isn't the feed. It's that you don't know what you're feeding it. You're operating on autopilot. And autopilot has preferences, triggers, patterns you didn't consciously install. They're old survival level, designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore, but they're still running. And the algorithm found them before you did. So the real question isn't how to escape the feed. It's how to become aware of what you're teaching it. Because right now, you're a passive educator. You're training an AI to predict your worst impulses, your anxieties, your distractions. And it's getting better at giving you exactly that. But you can reverse it. Not by fighting the system, by becoming conscious inside it. By noticing the pause, the hesitation, the moment before the click. That's where the choice lives. Not after, before. Most people never see that moment. They're already 3 videos deep before they realize they opened the app. That's not addiction, that's automation. Your brain executing a script it wrote months ago, and the algorithm is just playing along. But if you catch the moment the split second before the scroll, you can rewrite the script. You can teach it something new. Not what keeps you hooked, what actually serves you. This doesn't mean curating a perfect feed. It means curating a conscious one that reflects who you're becoming, not who you were when you were bored at 2 a.m. 6 months ago. Because here's the thing. The algorithm has no memory of your intentions, only your actions. It doesn't know you want to learn. It only knows you watched drama. It doesn't know you want peace. It only knows you clicked on conflict. And that gap between what you want and what you do, that's the territory you need to reclaim. This isn't about willpower. Willpower is a myth. This is about awareness. And awareness changes behavior at the root, not by force, by clarity. When you see the pattern loses power. Not because you resist it, because you stop identifying with it. You start to see yourself as separate from the scroll, and that separation is freedom, not freedom from the feed, freedom inside it. The algorithm will always be there. It's not going away, but it doesn't have to run you. You can run it, not by outsmarting it, by outknowing yourself, by becoming more conscious of your patterns than the system tracking them. And when you do that, something strange happens. The feed changes, not because the algorithm changed, because you did, and the mirror reflects that. You stop seeing what you used to see, not because it's not there, because you're not looking for it anymore. And without your attention, it fades. The algorithm learns, it adapts, it shows you what you're becoming, not what you were. This is the shift. From being shaped by the feed to shaping it. From reaction to creation. From automation to intention. And it starts with one thing. Noticing the pause. That's all. Just notice it. Don't judge it. Don't fight it. Just see it. See the moment before you click, before you scroll. Before you lose another hour to something you didn't choose. Because in that moment, you have all the power. Not over the algorithm, over yourself. And that's the only power that matters. The algorithm isn't watching you. You're teaching it, and you've been teaching it in your sleep. It's time to wake up.